I have a social compact and a body politic, which gives the authority for the credentials that I had when I had given them to Mr. Brooks at the time. And
the officer that wrote the ticket.
right. You had said that you were going to try to get those from him and see them for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know whether Ms. Davis got that or not.
We did get additional information from the agency in Detroit regarding passports, and they confirmed they are fraudulent. So if this doesn't get resolved today with the plea as charged to these misdemeanors, then we will be amending to have felony charges.
All right, fair enough. People call themselves different things. The common vernacular term had become sovereign citizen.
And I do not claim that in any way, shape, or form.
All right.
I rebut that. I completely rebut that statement.
All right. Well, I tried to think of a term for it.
Well,
just a minute.
Okay.
Let me get my thoughts together here. We had a guy, Mr. Aiken, a couple of weeks ago, and we went round and round with him, and he wanted a jury trial, and he didn't show up, and then he was found in contempt, and he went to jail. And I said, well, how about willfully misinformed defendant? That's too cumbersome, or willfully ignorant defendant. And then I was laying in bed between then and now, and I thought, follow me here, mimsy were the borough groves. It's like, what the heck does that mean? It's from the poem Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. It was written in the 1800s. It's a nonsense poem that doesn't mean anything. And more importantly, there was a science fiction story written maybe during the war called Mimsy Were the Borough Groves. It's a very interesting story about some toys that were sent from the future back to here. It's pretty relevant right now with cell phones. And the third line is Mimsy Were the Borough Groves. And what is a borough grove? It doesn't make any sense. So my term for these people that come in with this kind of nonsensical jabberwocky is going to be borough groves. So this is borough grove. It doesn't mean anything, and neither do your pleadings. This non-statutory abatement and all this stuff about self-claimed contracts and Exhibit B and C has no lawful effect. So the question I have here is, do you wish to have a trial on these matters, or do you wish to enter a plea to this?
So does the body politic and social compact, is that being disregarded?
Correct.
Okay, then I'll go with the trial.
All right, then I will. Do you want to have an attorney to assist you?
No.
All right, you sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. The prosecutor is going to charge you with some sort of felony charge. What charge did you have in mind, Ms. Davis?
I believe that Prosecutor Morgan looked it up, and it was fraudulent documentation, basically manufacturing fraudulent passport and a fraudulent license.
We talked about Conch Republic passports. Whatever you had, and this false passport and some claim that somehow you had an international driver's license. You have to have a driver's license from somewhere to have an international driver's license. And this isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I had that too. I have that too, yes.
All right. Well,
one last question. The documents that were taken by Mr. Brooks, I want to make sure that those are entered in as evidence when the time comes.
do you have those, Deborah?
I do not have physical possession of them. As all evidence, it's held by the sheriff's department and the evidence lockers. So certainly we would introduce those as exhibits.
All right. Well, you're always polite enough, but you're.
I stand firm.
Well, the problem with this is insidiously dangerous. people decide on their own that the rules don't apply to them. And even though they're polite and respectful, you're yanking my chain, and this is a waste of our court's time and Miss Davis's time.
I intend to prove that
All
these
right.
things are correct.
All right, maybe you do, but they aren't. This stuff is meaningless. And if everybody decided like you that they don't need a driver's license, they don't participate in our social contract, and they wish to use our public roadways and our streetlights and our court system, but hey, it doesn't apply to me, things would break down. The rule of law would cease to exist. So it's polite, but it's insidious and it's dangerous. What's next? I don't have the social contact, so I can punch somebody in the nose. I can kill somebody. I can sell drugs. The rules don't apply to me because I'm a RAIN citizen. Well, it don't work that way, at least not here in Michigan or in St. Joe County. Same rules apply to you that apply to everybody else. And you're going to get charged with a felony document fraud case. So I'm going to set this for, do you want a bench trial or a jury trial?
Jury.
Yeah, the same thing. It's hypocritical. The rules don't apply to you, but you don't mind bringing in 30 of your citizens to come in and
It's
hear
going to be
this
just
stuff.
me. It's just going to be just me.
I'm going to set for a jury trial.
Your Honor, if we amend it, obviously.
I understand.
the felony will-
I just want a
let you know.
target date
Sure.
for August 16. If prosecutor amends to felony, we'll schedule a pre-exam. Mimsy, we're the Borough Groves. That's what this amounts to. 'Twas brilling on their slithy ties. It's a bunch of nonsense. And so, Mr. Borough Grove, I will see you on August 16th at 8:30. They choose to call themselves by different titles. Henceforth, I'm going to refer to this type of defendant as a Borough Grove. Makes me happy. All right, we have Mr. Kirk Jensen here, who's unrepresented. Mr. Jensen, would you come up and have a seat? Josh, you kind of inherited this. Mr. Jensen was originally charged with traffic violations. The matter was set for a jury trial for August 16th, I believe it was. We had summoned jurors and we were ready to proceed. Earlier that week, I believe August 14th, Mr. Marvin filed a felony complaint based on the same set of facts. So the matter was set for a pre-exam conference. Mr. Jensen has made every court hearing. But he did express that he wants to represent himself. I offered to appoint counsel at each stage of the misdemeanor proceedings, and again in this case, but he declined. So, Mr. Jensen, you still wish to represent yourself in this matter?
I wish to have this case completely dismissed.
Well, everybody feels that way. Everybody else who wants their case dismissed, raise your right hand. Yeah, that was unanimous. So that's not up to me. But the question is, I'm willing to appoint counsel for you, but you've represented to me at each stage you wish to represent yourself.
I do not wish to have any counsel.
All right. Well, then let's talk about where we are. Where's the complaint? The complaint alleges that on or about April 6th in Lockport Township that you did obstruct justice. by preferring a counterfeit U.S. passport and counterfeit international driver's license at the time of a lawful traffic stop, an attempt to avoid criminal liability for driving without a license. The way that is charged, it is a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. The second count is possession of a reproduced, altered, counterfeit, or forged chauffeur's license. Operator's or chauffeur's license. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Count 3 alleges that you had no valid operator's license, plain old no ops. They're also charged with a civil infraction of no proof of insurance.
And I object to those. I object to that being labeled as counterfeit on all of those documents.
All right. Mr. O'Bear, do you have any instructions here or a plea offer? Or?
So the offer would be if the defendant wanted to plead to count 3, operating with no license, it's the 90-day misdemeanor. We would recommend fines and costs.
I object to that, and I will not consent to that either.
All right, let me unpack that a little bit. All right, you're charged with a felony, and you're charged with possession of a false or forged counterfeit license. You're also charged with no proof of insurance. Prosecutor would dismiss all of those charges if you plead to no valid operator's license with a fine and cost. You may be the first person in my 21-year career that objects to having all the felony charges dismissed for a plea to a $200 fine. Nonetheless, you object.
I object to the fact that it's been labeled as counterfeit.
All right, well, they're just willing to dismiss that charge. The allegation in count 3 is that you are operating a vehicle on a public roadway without having a valid license, sometimes called no ops or no valid operator's license. It's under 257301 of the Michigan Traffic Code. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. It carries 2 points and it goes on your driving record. If you plead guilty to that charge, I'm going to fine you $225. I'm going to give you time to pay it, and the matter will be done. If you don't wish to plead to that, we're going to have a preliminary examination next Wednesday, where the prosecutor will attempt to bind you over to circuit court on felony charges and continue the matter for a felony conviction with potential prison sentence. So his offer is to just be done with all of it for a plea to no valid operators. That's, frankly, was kind of surprised by the generous offer, but that's what it is. So our options are to plead to having no valid operator's license. You can even plead no contest. You can plead no contest. You don't admit what happened, but you also don't deny what happened. You allow or accept that a conviction will enter. You and I have a fundamental disagreement about what it means to operate a vehicle or what it means to travel. But if you want this matter to be over with, you can enter a no contest plea to no valid operator's license. If you want to reap the whirlwind, we can have a preliminary examination next Tuesday afternoon regarding the matter. What would you like to do, Mr. Jensen?
I don't accept any of that.
All right, the matter will be set for prelim.
And just to make it clear, this would be the third time that a charge of no operator's license has been levied against me, and I'm standing against it because those documents are valid, and I object to them being labeled as counterfeit.
Find out next week. So that will be Tuesday, September 5th at 1 p.m. Prelim. All right, your bond is continued. You're free to go.
And just a reminder of the civil case that is ongoing and those who are named in that, yourself and Mr. Marvin as well. Just to make sure that.
Which civil case is that?
Civil case, the notices, and all the recusals and everything that's been filed into this case that I've been filing in. Just to make note of that, that it is, on the record.
Well, let's take a look. Oh, you filed a August 28th, which is yesterday. I got this. I didn't see it. Objection to the report and recommendation in the matter of civil case. You filed this in federal court?
This was done in a federal court, has a federal case number on it. And all the defendants are listed